All right, guys, let's talk shoes. This is my number one question I get. This is such a great conversation to have, and really, shoes are a fun part of running. So let's talk about just what is the purpose of the shoe. First and foremost, the shoe itself is simply to protect your foot from the ground. Not from running. I don't want to be protected from running, but from what if there's something on the ground, right? Temperature, heat, elements, grass, rocks, whatever, so that you do not hurt the foot. So that is just to put that out there. So that's number one. And the second thing is, I want you to feel comfortable. So one of the things that's so important, and this is why there's so many different shoes, is what's comfortable for me might not be comfortable for you. And where's my level of foot strength, ankle mobility, that I can support my body weight. This is also really important. So when you put a shoe on, you should still feel like if you and I were talking right now and having a conversation, however you're standing and feel comfortable, when you put the shoe in, you should feel the same. So one of the things that we talk about a lot is why use a minimalist shoe versus, say, a motion control shoe or a shoe that's really thick or has a lot of support. Well, a couple of things. One, when you run, you want to actually connect the foot to the ground and your brain. This is how we do the pulling up from the ground. So if there's too much support in between the ground and the foot, unfortunately then you are not able to sense what's actually happening, and there's actually now research shows it's more impact. You're actually going to spend more time feeling where you are on the ground because you can't sense it. So then the second question is, well, how do I go from the shoe I'm wearing into a more minimalist shoe? That's also a great question. The first step, it goes back to the same thing, comfort. When you put the shoe on, you should still feel like I could go for a run. The second thing is if I have not been in a minimalist shoe, ease in. So many companies have great progressions. You can go down. Ultra is one. There's other ones that do the same thing. So I'm just going to show you a typical shoe versus like what I wear. And then we'll talk about my shoe as well. So this is a Brooks Ghost, and I have nothing to do with the shoe. It's not mine, but someone was nice enough to let me use it. So just the shoe itself, you can see thicker heel, of course, and then it kind of comes up the arch. The most important thing, though, is look, it's so rigid. If the shoe is that rigid and my ankles need to be able to move and my foot needs to be able to move, then that's going to limit my range of motion in my running. So I would look for a shoe that I could at least bend. That would be the flexibility part of the shoe. So that's important, flexibility. And then the same thing, it's like because it's got such a hard, thick bottom, most people will actually hit the ground a little bit harder because they have that ability to. So we want to definitely look for a shoe that can bend, really important. So let me just use my shoe. And how did I go to minimalist? So when I first started doing the Learning to Run, this was over 20 years ago, there wasn't a minimalist shoe. But when I learned, I was like, okay, maybe my shoes are too thick. We also didn't have the huge heels back then either. But anyway, so I got a shoe that was just more flexible and allowed my foot to move. And it was a really huge transition, just so you know. I was wearing the same like everyone else, a motion control shoe for running, so they were very stiff. You don't realize you have a stiff shoe on until you put a shoe on that can bend. So that's the first thing. And then I want to progress my ability to wear the minimalist shoe as I go. So I recommend buying one that's more minimalist than you're wearing now, but use it for your running practice. Use it to walk around in, wear it to the grocery store, wear it around your house, do your running drills, and just like anything else, take some time to build that strength up to be able to run further in that minimalist shoe or faster in that minimalist shoe. But remembering that the shoe itself still holds the same purpose, just to protect me from the ground. So as long as I feel like when I'm running that I'm able to run and pull my foot up and not feel any tension on the ground, then I know I'm wearing a good shoe.